This is Vince Soroli again, coming here with you on part 3 of our 3-part series, Selling Your Home in a Buyer's Market and What You Need to Know. Again, we're talking about the 7 reasons homes don't sell, and we're talking about the need for truth, transparency in the entire transaction, and accountability of agents in this. Knowledge pays. You know, one of the things that we find, and I think everyone really understands, is there really isn't a substitute for knowledge and experience of an agent in today's market. Now, don't confuse necessarily knowledge and experience just with age, because we see a lot of long-time, old-time agents that have been around forever that really have not kept pace with the technology and the changes in the industry, and still just act as gatekeepers to the MLS. So you got to be careful when I say knowledgeable and experienced. It's someone that has that years of experience in knowing how to negotiate, put a contract together, and do things in your favor, but at the same time has kept pace with technology. So when you're talking with an agent, you're interviewing agents, talk a little bit about both sides. Talk about their past transactions and the history and what they know about negotiations, as well as talk to them about technology. Get on their website, see what they have to offer, and so forth. So becomes very important, and it will truly pay dividends both over the short and for you. Let me talk a little bit about market conditions here. Market conditions is really paramount in when an agent is looking at bringing to you a true cohesive plan, because depending upon which way the market is trending, that will go a long way in establishing what kind of pricing needs to be done, what kind of negotiating needs to be done, what kind of incentives need to be offered out there in order to get your home sold in a reasonable amount of time and for that top dollar. So knowing that current market condition, the current trends, really does become critical in establishing that initial listing price. That initial price not only has to be the right price, it needs to go together with a lot of other things that we're going to talk about here. So getting this right, the home would normally sell relatively quickly, but that's just not the end of the equation for us here. So you're looking for that overall strategy, and one of the things that really want to talk about is that you need to not just put it in the hands of the realtor and hope for the best. What you really do need to do with your real estate agent is act as a team in developing a unique plan. And many times when I say unique, it's the right type of marketing plan that may include a unique wage structure, or it may include an incentive for the buyer. So all these particular pieces need to come together in order for the transaction to happen. So it may be a combination of buying rates down, or subsidizing some closing fee for the buyer on the other side. So as a seller, you need to be working closely with your particular listing agent in bringing together a cohesive plan. Truly a proper approach gives these incentives to you, the seller, the buyer, the buyer's agent, and the listing agent. So what we want to do when we look at these incentives is to actually kind of remain flexible. So many times when we go in, instead of just talking about 6% type, we may be talking about a 7 or 8% commission structure. Not necessarily that any more is going to go to your listing agent, but that extra 1 or 2% needs to figure into the particular transaction in order to, as I mentioned before, buy a rate down, cover some closing cost for the buyer, or maybe just to incent, like many of the builders do, incent the buyer agents to bring more people to your property. What we need to do, though, is to remain flexible in how we talk about and do that. And again, kind of what we're talking about here, just one more time, is the buyer's agent. They should be getting to 3%. The listing agent would get 3%, and then the flexibility that we're talking about to incent the buyer's agent to buy a rate down, and so forth. So again, let circumstances basically dictate the proper use of that incentive, and that incentive needs to be put in the hands of you, the seller, and work with your agent in being flexible and how you get how you use that potential money in getting the home sold. If you don't need it, then that money should go back into your pocket. And remember, your home's conditioned that you're really in a beauty contest out there. So to get a premium price, you need to make sure that everything is painted up properly, fixed up. I mean, I'm talking about everything. Make sure you pass the smell test. So the worst thing is when someone walks into a home and it smells. I mean, it just turns them off. They turn around and walk out. And you can't underestimate curb appeal here. So when they drive up in front, everything should look great on the outside as well as the inside. So, you know, again, you're talking about a beauty contest here. And of course, the location of the home, not only location relative to school district and town and so forth, but even on one side of the street versus another, whether you're on a premium lot that backs up to a ravine or a lot that backs up to other homes, can make a difference in the price of your home. One of the things that we're seeing now that impacts the market is fear. And again, what you see with buyers out there, and as they watch TV, listen to radio, and read the newspapers, etc., or just go online, you know, there's a lot of fear in the marketplace. So working with your agent, you need to come up with strategies to overcome that fear. And remember, with buyers, you know, you have two emotions going on there. You have fear about the market, but you also have kind of that, what I call the greed factor. So you always have those two kind of yin and yang playing off against one another. So what we find out in today's market, you know, from a fear and greed standpoint, is that people, you know, want to make sure that they get that low interest rate, and they also want to get that low price. So they're fearful of losing low interest rates and fearful of losing that low price. So they're kind of many times greedy to get the deal done. So we need to make sure that as we present a marketing plan, that we do it in such a way that it plays to the benefit of the buyer, but also to you as the seller. So we want to do that in such a way that everyone ends up basically feeling as though they have won in the transaction. So again, working with that experienced, knowledgeable agent, that can actually happen out there. So in order to learn more about what we're talking about here, you know, I have prepared a special report on the 7 reasons homes don't sell. If you'd like to get a copy of that, you can call that number and we'll be glad to get that out to you. If you'd like to arrange an interview with one of our seasoned and knowledgeable agents to talk about more specifically about what we talked about today, you can certainly do that. Or just go online if you want to look at homes and see a little bit of what we're doing on the internet. Of course, that's certainly not all of the tools that we deploy, but you can go to one of our websites, which is www.thecolumbusmls.com. And there, you know, kind of sign up for those listing alerts, see what happens. Matter of fact, on the listing alerts, you'll see how a lot of agents really mess up, because you'll be receiving listing alerts without photos there. Number one mistake unseasoned, untrained, unknowledgeable, if that's a word, agents do is they're anxious to put the listing in the MLS and do so without the benefit of a picture. It just kills your listing and it really harms the sale of your home. So remember, give us a call and we're here to help when the time is right for you. This is Vince Ciroli, Marketing Director, Exit One Realty. Hope to see you on the internet sometime. Take care.